Strength begins where excuses end. Every time you make an excuse, you give away a piece of your strength, a piece of your power, a piece of your potential. Excuses are the walls that separate you from the person you were meant to become. They sound harmless at first, a reason why you couldn't, why it wasn't the right time, why life got in the way. But every excuse builds a cage around your greatness. The truth is, strength doesn't come from comfort or convenience. It begins the moment you stop explaining your limitations and start challenging them. When you say no more excuses, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to the architect of your own destiny. That's the moment you take control. That's the moment you begin to grow. Excuses are seductive because they make you feel safe. They tell you that you're doing your best even when you're not. They protect your ego from the sting of failure. But real strength isn't about being comfortable. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about looking in the mirror and admitting that you could do more, that you could push harder, that you've been holding back. It takes courage to strip away the excuses and face the truth, but that's where power lies. The grind doesn't reward those who talk about what they could do. It rewards those who do it despite the odds. When you remove excuses, you force yourself to grow stronger. You stop blaming time, luck, or other people and realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is the story you keep telling yourself. Every excuse is a reason to stay small, and every time you let one go, you build mental muscle. You start to develop resilience, discipline, and focus, the traits that separate the average from the unstoppable. Strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn through choices, and the first choice is always to stop making excuses. The grind will test you. It will strip you down and expose every weakness you try to hide. But that's the beauty of it, because when there are no more excuses left, there's nothing left to protect you from growth. You become accountable, you become driven, you become dangerous in the best way possible. The person who no longer makes excuses becomes the person who can no longer be stopped. The struggle you avoid today becomes the regret you carry tomorrow. Every challenge you run from, every opportunity you ignore, every moment you choose comfort over effort, those choices don't disappear. They wait for you. They wait to show up later as regret, as that haunting thought of what could have been. The truth is, growth never happens in the easy moments. It happens in the uncomfortable ones. The struggle you face right now is not meant to break you but to build you. Yet too often, people step back when things get hard, telling themselves they'll try again when the timing feels right. But perfect timing doesn't exist. All that exists is this moment, the one you either face with strength or surrender to weakness. Avoiding struggle might bring short-term relief, but it steals long-term satisfaction. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. Every time you push through struggle, you teach yourself resilience. You teach yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. You discover power in persistence and clarity in discomfort. The grind isn't supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to test you, to stretch you, to see how badly you want what you say you want. Struggle is the tuition you pay for greatness. Every drop of sweat, every late night, every moment of doubt is part of the process that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. When you avoid struggle, you choose stagnation. You choose to remain the same while the world moves on. You can't grow stronger without resistance. Just as a muscle needs tension to grow, your character needs challenge to develop. The people who achieve greatness aren't those who had it easy. They're the ones who refuse to run from struggle. They embraced it, endured it, and learned from it. They turned pain into fuel and setbacks into stepping stones. The grind doesn't reward avoidance. It rewards endurance. One day, you'll look back on your life, and the only question that will matter is, did you face your struggles, or did you flee from them? The weight you refuse to lift today becomes the burden you carry tomorrow. The uncomfortable conversations you avoid, the hard work you postpone, the risks you're too afraid to take, they all become memories of missed potential. Struggle is not your enemy. It's your training ground, the place where strength, courage, and confidence are born. Consistency will outwork talent every single time. Talent might give you a head start, but consistency determines who finishes the race. The world is full of gifted people who never reach their potential because they rely on talent alone. They shine for a moment, but fade when things get tough. Meanwhile, the consistent ones, the ones who show up every day, who keep grinding even when motivation fades, those are the people who build unshakable success. Consistency is not glamorous. It's repetitive, it's demanding, and it's often invisible. But that's what makes it powerful. It's the quiet force that transforms effort into excellence. Being consistent means showing up when you don't feel like it. It means sticking to your goals even when progress feels slow or unseen. It's easy to be passionate at the start, when everything is new and exciting, but true strength lies in continuing when the excitement fades. The grind rewards those who stay loyal to the process, not just the results. Consistency turns ordinary actions into habits and habits into mastery. Every time you repeat a disciplined act, whether it's training, studying, building, or improving, you're stacking bricks toward your future. One day, those small, consistent efforts become the foundation that others mistake for talent. Talent can get distracted, consistency stays focused. Talent can be shaken by failure, consistency learns and adapts. When you're consistent, you don't rely on mood or motivation. You rely on commitment. You understand that the journey is not about perfection but persistence. Success doesn't come from doing something amazing once. It comes from doing the right things over and over until they become second nature. The grind doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for dedication. It demands that you keep showing up, even when no one's clapping, even when no one notices, even when it feels like you're moving in slow motion. The truth is, consistency builds confidence. Each small victory reinforces your belief that you can do more. Over time, that steady rhythm of effort becomes unstoppable momentum. And once you've built momentum, no setback can truly stop you. You may slow down, but you'll never stop moving forward. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. Talent fades if it's not nurtured by discipline, but consistency keeps growing stronger with time. The person who refuses to quit, who keeps grinding day after day, eventually becomes the person everyone else calls lucky. But luck had nothing to do with it. It was consistency all along. Comfort is the enemy of champions. It disguises itself as peace, as happiness, as contentment. But beneath that calm surface lies stagnation. Comfort convinces you that where you are is good enough, that you've done enough, that you've earned a break from growth. But every time you give in to comfort, you weaken your hunger. The fire inside you begins to dim, not because you've lost your potential, but because you've stopped feeding it. The truth is, comfort doesn't care about your dreams. It only cares about keeping you safe, still, and satisfied. Champions, however, know that progress lives in discomfort. They understand that every victory is born from moments of pain, pressure, and perseverance. The grind doesn't thrive in easy conditions. It lives in the struggle, in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the sweat that no one sees. Comfort might offer you rest, but it steals your edge. The second you stop pushing yourself, life starts pulling you backward. Growth is never found in the familiar. It's found in the places that test you, stretch you, and challenge your limits. When you step outside your comfort zone, you awaken new strength, new focus, new resilience. You learn what you're truly capable of when there's no safety net beneath you. That's why the greatest champions are never satisfied. They're always reaching for more, not out of greed, but out of a deep desire to evolve. Comfort whispers lies. It tells you that it's okay to take it easy, that you deserve to relax, that tomorrow will be a better time to start again. But tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes next year, until one day you realize that comfort has quietly stolen your time. The grind demands discomfort because discomfort breeds growth. Every time you do something that scares you, every time you take a step into the unknown, you grow stronger. You can't become fearless by avoiding fear, and you can't become great by avoiding struggle. The people who achieve the extraordinary are those who learn to be at home in discomfort. They don't chase ease, they chase evolution. Comfort kills ambition because it tricks you into thinking you've already arrived. It tells you to slow down when you should be speeding up. Champions refuse that lie. They understand that the pursuit never ends, that greatness is not a destination but a mindset. The moment you choose comfort over challenge, you stop becoming. The grind doesn't stop when you're tired, it stops when you're done. Tired is a feeling, but done is a decision. Too many people quit when exhaustion hits, when the path gets rough, when the results don't come fast enough. They mistake fatigue for failure, not realizing that the moment you feel tired is the moment growth begins. The grind doesn't care how you feel, it only responds to effort. When you push past tired, you step into a version of yourself that most people never meet. That's where strength is forged, where resilience is built, and where winners are made. When your body says stop and your mind says keep going, that's when you find out what you're truly made of. Anyone can work hard when it's easy, but the true test comes when your energy fades and your motivation disappears. That's the breaking point that separates the ones who dream from the ones who achieve. The grind demands endurance, the kind that comes from purpose, not comfort. When you know why you started, you'll find the power to continue. Pain, fatigue, and doubt are not signs to quit. They're signs that you're getting closer. Every extra push, every extra rep, every late night you choose discipline over rest moves you one step closer to the person you want to become. There's always that moment when everything inside you screams to stop, when the finish line feels too far away. But the grind doesn't end just because you're tired. It ends when you've given everything you have. The difference between average and unstoppable isn't talent, it's the refusal to stop short of completion. The people who win aren't the ones who never get tired. They're the ones who keep going despite being exhausted. Tired is temporary, but pride lasts forever. Every time you choose to push through, you expand your limits. You prove to yourself that fatigue can't define you, that pain can't control you, that nothing can break you unless you let it. The grind is about mastery, not moments. It's about showing up again and again, even when no one's watching, even when progress feels invisible. The satisfaction comes not from finishing easily, but from knowing you refused to quit when it mattered most. When you grind until you're done, you don't just complete a task, you transform who you are. The body may tire, but the spirit that refuses to quit becomes unstoppable.